Okay, so the future of crypto. When I was back in the 95, 96, when the internet came out, I was very gung ho about the internet. I started doing some coding and did some web pages. I thought this is the future. Of course, it is, but not the future that I had anticipated. I did not anticipate that several large corporations would come in and own the internet. And I think there's five. I think there's five sites that take up the vast majority of all destinations on the internet. And I always thought there'd be infinite number, and you can go anywhere, and there'd be people talking and different ideas and different opinions. But that's not how it turned out. And so now with the blockchain and crypto, same thing. We're at that beginning where we all look forward and we think, hey, there's the potential here that we could be free of many of these onerous governmental units and cut out the middleman and have some freedom. And I watched a lot of John McAfee, and he was a big crusader for the open blockchain and the potential of what it could be. Although it seems that it's turning out much more like the internet than I had hoped for. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. There's a couple good articles about this, and so let's go to those articles right now. And this one I like. They're fairly long, but I'll try not to read all of it unless I get carried away. But this is a good one. Will blockchain fulfill its democratic promise, or will it become a tool of big tech? Engineers are focused on reducing its carbon footprint, ignoring the governance issues raised by the technology. That's what we're going to worry about, the footprint. When cryptocurrency Bitcoin first made its appearance in 2009, an interesting divergence of opinions about it rapidly emerged. Journalists tended to regard it as some kind of incomprehensible money laundering scam, while computer scientists who were largely agnostic about Bitcoin's prospects nevertheless thought that the distributed ledger technology, blockchain, that undermined the currency was a big idea that could have far-reaching consequences. Again, I'm of that opinion, that it's really about blockchain. Cryptocurrency is interesting, but that's just one use of the blockchain technology, and it happens to be the first use, so first real use. And so it's the blockchain technology that has that promise. In this conviction, they were joined by legions of techno-libertarians who viewed the technology as a way of enabling economic life without the oppressive oversight of central banks and other regulatory institutions. Blockchain technology had the potential to change the way we buy and sell, interact with government, and verify the authenticity of everything from property titles to organic vegetables. It combined blurbed that well-known revolutionary body, Goldman Sachs, the openness of the internet with the security of cryptography to give everyone a faster, safer way to verify key information and establish trust. Verily, cryptography would set us free. I still believe that's still potential. That's what we hope. At its core, a blockchain is just a ledger, a record of timestamped transactions. These transactions can be any movement of money, goods, and secure data. A purchase at a store, for example, the title of a piece of property, the assignment of an NHS number, or a vaccination status, you name it. In the offline world, transactions are verified by some central third party, a government agency, a bank, or Visa, say. But a blockchain is a distributed, decentralized ledger where verification, and therefore trustworthiness, comes not from the central authority, but from a consensus of many users of the blockchain that a particular transaction is valid. Verified transactions are gathered into blocks, which are then chained together using a heavy-duty cryptography, so that, in principle, any attempt retrospectively to alter the details of a transaction would be visible. And oppressive rent-seeking authorities such as Visa and MasterCard, or for that matter Stripe, are nowhere in the chain. Given all that, it's easy to see why the blockchain idea evokes utopian hopes. At last, technology is sticking it to the man. In that sense, the excitement surrounding it reminds me of the early days of the internet, as I mentioned. When we really believed that our contemporaries had invented a technology that was democratizing and liberating and beyond the reach of established power structures. Well, how we were proven wrong. And indeed, the network had and still possesses those desirable affordances, but we're not using them to achieve their great potential. And again, we talked on this show about Web3, and that's one of the promises of Web3, to finally break free of all of this control that several large companies have cast over the internet. And Web3 promises to break that hold. Will it? Well, again, that's the future. I think that's where we're going. The more I'm going to kind of get off of this, because the more I think that these things are going to free us all, the more it enslaves us, and it's kind of maddening, the more all these technologies that are to free us of all this oppression. Or, we used to have one newspaper thought, well, we'll have unlimited amounts of opinion writers, and we can go there and get any opinion or all opinions, right? And then we find out that that's just not true. There's still a number. Again, I keep going back to this because there's a small number of companies who really run the internet and control what you see and what you don't see, and that's kind of opposite of what I thought would happen with the internet. Again, Web3 kind of promises something more. The promise is there. Same thing with blockchain. The promise is there.